Hey everybody, I wanted to give you some quick how-tos on last week's project, Chapter 6. Most everybody did really well. I want to show you some of the stuff that's commonly missed in Project 2 and then also Project 3. And then also I'm going to show you how to get the feedback of why you got the grade that you got. And I'll tell you where to go to see that. And then also we're talking a little bit about how to raise your grade up some. So first off, I want to start out. This is what you should have after you get done with Project 1. So I've already typed that up. We're going to roll right into Project 2, and I'm going to do a step-by-step of how you can do Project 2 and then Project 3, and that'll cover most of what everybody missed on the projects. There may be some other things, but I'll explain in a little bit how you'll know how to fix those. So anyway, Project 2, I'm going to start out with on step 3 on page 182, the second part of the book. It says to type a following new paragraph and bulleted list between the second and third paragraph. So we're going to go into the second paragraph and hit enter. We're going to type in Facebook's 1 billion revenue from last year. I'm going to type all of that and just go on to the next line. We'll hit enter. We're going to start the bulleted list. Go right up here to the paragraph group and click on bullets. Insert the bullet. And again, I'm not going to type every bit of this since you guys can see that in the book how to do that. Just hit enter. And then 1% from. Alright, so there's the bulleted list. And now it says to format the document as follows. Change the title to 12 point per data. So we're going to highlight that. We're going to change it to 12. You can also do this from the font group right up here. Red, bold, and Verdana. Just like that. It also says to center align it. So on the paragraph group, we'll click on center. Okay. It says to indent the first line of each paragraph. So for each paragraph, we're going to click at the first and hit tab, and that'll put the indent in. Just like that. Okay. Alright, now it says to justify the first two and the last two paragraphs. So these two and these two. And click anywhere in the paragraph and click on the justify button in the paragraph group, or you can click in the paragraph and do Control plus J on the keyboard. A little bit quicker. Alright. It says to select the entire document, change the line spacing to 1.5 and remove space after paragraph. So to select it all, you can either click at the very first and drag down, or just do Control plus A. And on the line and spacing and paragraph spacing button in the paragraph group, we're going to click on the drop down, do 1.5, click on it again, and remove space after paragraph. Okay. Now, this is where a lot of people get hung up on step 5. It says, depending on the method used to format the paragraph with the first line indent, the indent for the last 3 paragraphs may be at 0.25 instead of a ½ inch. Okay, so when you click here, you'll notice our tab is at a ½ inch, but when we click on these last 3 paragraphs, our tab is at 0.25 inch. If you don't have this ruler at the top of your word, go to View and check the little checkbox for ruler in that show group. So that way you'll see that up there. It's a little bit easier to see. Sometimes with these bullets, it's hard to tell if you're at a quarter or a ½ inch. So anyway, we need to fix these 3 to a ½ inch. I'm going to show you a couple ways to do that. First, we're going to select anywhere in that paragraph and go to Paragraph dialog box. It's a little drop down arrow right there. And you'll see we have a special first line of 0.25, and we just need to adjust that to 0.5. Click OK. Alright, so the next one, we're going to click in the paragraph, right click, and go to paragraph. That'll just open the exact same dialog box. So sometimes it's a little bit easier to just right click in the paragraph and do that. Again, first line of 0.5. Okay. And then finally, the third paragraph, you can actually just click and drag this first line indent over to a ½ on the ruler if you want. And sometimes people prefer to do that. I actually use the ruler most of the time for my tabs, but just any of those 3 ways will work. So that's how the tab should look. So at that point, you're done with Project 2. That's the way Project 2 should look, other than you should actually type out the full sentence of these. So for Project 3, it says, I'm starting in step 3. You make sure and save your documents as you go. It says to apply the heading 1 style to the title. So we're going to click here, and on the Home tab still, the Styles, we're going to click on heading 1. Depending on how your monitor is laid out, you may not see all these options, and that really becomes a problem on the body style and the name style. So anytime there's this little drop down arrow with a line above it, that means there's more. So click on that and you'll see the other ones. I think some people miss getting like the intense reference sometimes and things like that because they don't know that that more is there. So anyway, that's where it's at. Just click that little drop down arrow. You'll get more options. So step 4 says to select all the text below the title except for your name. And it wants us to do the emphasis style. So that's on the drop down. Have emphasis, and then the next step is to do your name and apply the intense reference. So drop down, mouse over, we'll see that's the intense reference. Okay, so that's the 3 styles for the document. That's how it should look there. Next it says to change the style set to black and white classic. It's really easy to do. Some people don't realize where that's at though. So on the design tab now, there's all these different style sets in the document formatting group. You just mouse over them until you find the one you want. This is actually black and white classic. You'll notice as you mouse over them, it actually changes the document to different formatting predefined. So we're going to click on black and white classic, and you'll see now we've got that style set applied. So all the blue's gone. Save that, upload it. That's your project 3, and that's the way your document should look for the entire chapter's worth of work. All right, so if you didn't get full credit on your submission, you should have a document back that has some comments about what you missed. So what you need to make sure and do is go back to the chapter 6 assignment, click on that, you'll see where you turned in a document, and then right below that you'll see feedback, and it'll have a grade and then also a document loaded back up to you. Okay, so when you click on that document, that under the feedback section, it'll download, you can open it up, and you'll see comments like this. Maybe you didn't get the emphasis style on the body, maybe you missed replacing your occurrences of social media. You'll have feedback here telling you what you did. Most of the stuff missed was from project 2 and project 3. It's usually the way it is, but there is some other stuff, so it'll tell you generally it says what project and what step that it asked you to do and what you did wrong, and it'll explain out how to do it. So check those comments. Now this 3 projects had approximately 10 big steps that you needed to complete. So every time you missed one, you got 10% taken off. So if you got a 7 out of 10 on your project, that means you got a 70. Here's the thing about that. The point of this is so that you will learn how to do this. So what I want you to do, and it's completely optional, but it's to your advantage, if you did not get full credit, go download that document, read the comments on that document, make the changes the way they're supposed to be, save it back to your flash drive or computer, wherever you keep your work, and then upload it again. And what I'll do is I'll go in, I'll see I made comments, I'll see you fixed it, and then I'll adjust your score accordingly so that you can get your grade raised up to full credit. The deal with that is it has to be turned in by next Monday at 5 along with the next week's chapter work, and that offer is open for all the office stuff. I may or may not post videos on what was missed, but I'll at least give you comments back every week of what was missed so that you can go in and adjust it, and then as long as you turn it in by the next Monday at 5, I'll give you credit for that. So if there's any questions when you get in the comments, do not hesitate to email me, to text me, post up in the question forum, hey, I missed this, and if I don't get to it first, other students in the class are answering questions in there. That's great, so make sure and use that. A lot of times they're on before I am to see those questions, so I review those. As long as the advice was good, I just leave it alone. I'm very, very appreciative of you guys getting in there. That's what it's for you to ask questions and to get help, whether that's from me or another student. So make sure and check those out if you see questions. As always, don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. If you didn't get this chapter stuff turned in, get it turned in as soon as possible, and probably need to send me a message and let me know that you're going to be turning it in, okay? So get that in there, go download that document, make the changes, resubmit it just like you did the original file. We'll adjust your credit and then get started on chapter 7. Y'all have a good week.